And here we are. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, it is cold in Chicago. And I don't know about y'all. I am very happy that these holidays are behind us. That's the best I can say. I'm very happy that these holidays are behind us. Um, let me let me copy the link and let me put that in the comments. There we go. There you go. Anybody want to jump on? Please hit the link. We're going to do so. Um, Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year. Here we are, 2026. I say that, I say that, and it just doesn't. I don't want to say this. It doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel any different or anything like that. All right, give me a second. Mrs. Stevens, greetings, welcome. Hold on, baby. Hold on, Michael. Let me see. Can I do it? There we go. There we go. Happy New Year, baby. My hand is
Happy New Year. Happy New
it
Year.
is as all get out over here.
How many degrees is it over there? Do you know?
Baby, it's 23 degrees right now.
Oh, bless your heart.
It is 23. Yeah.
Please, I know you got that heat pumping, don't you?
Oh, sweetheart, you ain't gotta stop asking me silly questions. You know I do. Okay, you know I do. I would say this though, sir. I would say this though. Uh, the latter portion of 2025, you know, I let you I shared in that journey with y'all. I was involved with somebody that was unhoused and everything. And it was funny because shortly before Christmas, I had gone to the South Side. I had gone to the South Side, and my brother gave me a ride home. And in the car, we were bypassing the area that my friend's tent was at uh, prior to the winter coming through. And in my mind, I'm expecting I should see no tent. His tent went away, and three more tents were in this place. So yeah. So um, I don't know what we're doing. I don't
Yeah,
know what
I
we're
know.
doing. I don't know what we're doing as a nation where we are normalizing um where we are normalizing in major cities people living in tents, people
Mm-hmm.
living in cars,
Mm-hmm.
where we have children that are going to school where their only meal is at school and they are living in a car or in a shelter with I don't know what we're doing. I don't know
Yeah.
what we're doing. So with that being said, I can only hope that 2026 provides us better answers. And what I had what I planned for tonight, I think that's going to talk about that. But how was your New Year's Eve?
Well, my New Year's is actually really good, but the thing about it, I'm starting to think like you a little bit. Is the energy is feeling good, but I know that energy will only work if I do something about it.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel really good about 2026. But and this year I'm going to be turning 40 on March, and it's just
Okay.
like yeah, and I'm scared. I mean, I don't want to say I'm scared, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know how to take 40. I don't know how to, it's not old, but
How did you
yeah.
take 39?
Yeah. In the same way. I took it normal. I took
So
it
then
normal.
what would 40 be any different?
Well. It's just that I have like a lot of fears concerning age. Just I'm afraid I'm gonna get grouchier. Like But no, I don't think I am. I think I'm gonna be just the same old flamboyant Michael.
So I'm gonna say this. I did something that I haven't done in neon. And Sal, this gonna involve you. Um, Sal and I, many moons ago, we used to work in nightclubs together,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled away, and I dove headfirst into the beauty industry. I started getting my little clientele and all that type of stuff, and for a very long time, nightclubs and time made my money, and there's a mystique about nightclubs, and there are ways to make it work for you and all of that, but for me, um, it's very much like when you know how the sausage is made, you don't need sausage, and so that being said, like, I tried to date before in nightclubs on New Year's Eve for a very, very long time, but, I've got a friend, and his name is Richard, and he works at this big venue here in Chicago, it's called the Metro, and he was decorating it for New Year's Eve, and so I was helping him. As a result, he put me on his guest list. Um, I had no intentions of doing anything. You know what? I went and, there was a DJ friend of my Seraphine who I had not seen in years. As I was coming in the venue, he was coming out. We exchanged pleasantries, and then I went where my friend Richard was at. And when you wanna talk about old, nothing will get you together. Nothing will get you together quite as going to a nightclub to let you know to let you know exactly where you are on that social media, okay? Nothing's
Yeah.
gonna tell you exactly where you are and stuff, and listen, people were lovely to me, it was nice and stuff, but babe, she ain't got no business there no more. She ain't got no business there no more. Now, I ain't gonna lie, 2 gentlemen tried to say something to me, I'm like, "Boy, I went to school with your daddy. Tell him I said hi." But beyond that, you know,
Yeah.
but that was that. But yeah, darling, it is what it is. So, I'm happy about that. Happy birthday. Happy New Year, Wade. Happy New Year, Wade. All right,
But
Michael,
I wanted
go
to
ahead.
say one thing really quick before you go. But I do understand where you're coming from on the homelessness. I do because before moved to where I live at now, I lived in Laurel, Maryland, and when you would go on 198, you would see in the woods tent parks, and then like when you would go up 198 and walk, you would see people begging for money, and I was just like, why is there so many homeless people in this community? And sometimes the police harass them and beat them up. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Yeah. But I do see what you're saying, though. But I hope that we can stop that. But yeah, I just wanted to stop in and say hello, happy new year and
I'm
everything.
glad you
So
did, baby. I'm glad
all
you
right,
did.
take
I'm
care.
glad you did.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, stay to the end, Michael, because I know you like to log off. I'm not gonna say you're gonna go to sleep, but stay to the end, honey, okay? All right. Um, so with all that being said, Happy New Year, people. Um, and if you're here with me on New Year's Day, I truly appreciate y'all being with me, okay? Um, Today, New Year's Day comes with a lot of noise. There's a lot of there's a lot of New Year, new me. Hold on, where's that little boy at? Where's that little boy at? Here we go. Here we go.
That came out a whole lot louder than I'm sorry. That's my bad. But now that Christmas is over, everybody's making these tweets and Facebook posts about New Year, new me. Shut up. You're still on meth, Cheryl. And this chick in her Cookie Monster pajamas smoking some Marlboro talking about New Year, new me. Listen, the only thing new for you this year is a new baby and a brand new baby daddy. She the type of chick that had 4 kids and 5 different baby daddies. How does that happen? She don't even know. They're her best friends talking about how 2018 whooped her butt. But we can tell. take a picture of last year, put it together with a picture of this year, looking like a before and after picture like you see on the walls at high school. Before and after bath salt.
Hold on. Where am I? Y'all, that baby was reading for points. That baby was reading for points, okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure, that new year, new me shit, a lot of pressure to feel different, just because the calendar changed. So before I take this any further, take a breath with me. Um, because today is January the 1st, today is not about forcing anything. Today's not about forcing transition. Today is going to be a day we understand timing. And that's what we're going to talk about, because I need to say this. People will do that new year, new me bullshit. It really pisses me off. You know, um, but I will tell you, something caught my attention. Something caught my attention today. And if you know how to read energy, you caught this too. New York, they got a brand new mayor. Mhm. New York City sworn in at midnight, New Year's Eve. Now, wait a minute. At midnight, not noon, not morning, but midnight. They swore in a brand new mayor. Why does that matter? Midnight isn't a celebratory energy. Midnight is that holding space. Midnight is liminal. Midnight is right there at that threshold. The space between what's over and what hasn't started yet. So that alone tells you that this moment wasn't about arrival. It was about positioning. Mondani wasn't sworn in at City Hall. He was sworn in here. He was sworn in at this abandoned train station. This station, it was used at one point to move people forward, and then it fell into disuse. And it was then restored into something beautiful. So let that land for a second. That's not random. That is symbolism doing what symbolism does, which is telling the truth without asking any kind of permission. A train station is about movement. It's about direction. It's about transition. An abandoned one says something stopped. Something was stalled. Something lost momentum. And a restored subway tunnel says, we're not erasing the past. We're rebuilding on top of it. And then there's this part. There's this part. And again, if you read energy, if you know how to read energy, you caught this. Honey, my boy got sworn in with his hand on the Quran. He is the first mayor of New York City to do so. And this right here, this is not about religion. This is about sacred accountability. It's a statement that leadership is not just administrative, it's moral, it's spiritual, and it's witnessed. An oath on a sacred text. This isn't about optics, it's about consequences. It says, what I'm about to do carries weight. But now, y'all, let's talk about his age. Mondani is young. Look at him. Mondani is young. And I'm not talking career politician young. He's energetically young. And now he's the mayor of one of the most influential cities on the planet. That that's that's initiation energy. That's not ego. That's not just being young. It's the energy of stepping into a new role, ready for responsibility. It's alignment. It's growth before the work even begins. On a metaphysical breakdown, let me put all this together. Here's what all of those things were saying energetically. It wasn't a victory lap. It wasn't that he beat former Mayor Eric Adams or Como. No, the the subway, the Quran, everything that was an alignment ritual. Midnight, that was right there at the threshold. The train station, that right there was transition. The restoration of the train system, that was renewal without denial. The Quran, the sacred text, that was accountability. And his age, youth, new cycles, not repetition. This was orientation before the movement. If you all do tarot, some of y'all will catch this immediately. This was very much the Wheel of Fortune energy. Yeah. Yeah. The wheel turns after a cycle completes, not because somebody wants it to, but because the timing allows it. This was oh, I don't have my media asset for it. Let me see if I do real fast. Let me see if I got it. If I got it. Give me a second, y'all. I'll tell you right now. Because it was another tarot moment. No, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. This was judgment. This was judgment. Um, in the judgment card, you've got the angel blowing the horn. Well, the call was answered. The call was answered, but the work hasn't begun. The this card right here, the number 10, this is the major arcana. This is very much 10 energy right here. This is completion. This is awareness. This is accountability before action. So now at this point, this is where I want you guys to check in with yourselves. Because this energy, this 10 energy, it's happening on a global stage. Um, on midnight, on New Year's Eve, people were with whoever they were. They were with their loved ones, and they were having some champagne. They were kissing somebody next to them, all of that stuff. And then came the resolutions. The resolutions. Just like Mondani took an oath, we on midnight, we started taking an oath as well. And then what happens is that So, I'll say this. Let's get honest about the New Year's resolutions. I'm not saying that they're right, they're wrong. I'm going to say that the timing is off. This is the truth about January the 1st. With January the 1st, we are still in Capricorn season. Capricorn season is about pressure. Capricorn season is about duty. Capricorn season, we are still in survival mode. I don't know about you all, but me personally, I'm still mentally exhausted from the year before. Winter. Winter is about integration. Winter is about assessment. Winter is not about rebirth. It's not about resolutions. Not right now. Our nervous system hasn't had time to reset yet. And in this exhausted, contemplative mental state, on a social level, we were told to make resolutions. That's a setup for failure. No matter how you no matter how you cut it, that's a setup for failure. And most people fail their resolution not because they're lazy or not because they're weak. They fail because they're trying to force spring, the time of renewal. They're trying to force spring energy in the middle of winter. Society tells you new year, new you. That's marketing. It's social pressure. Wait a minute. Where's that one? Yeah, it's comparative value. It's comparative culture. We're all on our devices trying to compare ourselves, seeing who is doing what, who's winning at this game. And then when we look at that and we find ourselves on the lower end of that stick, that shit right there is setting up internal conflicts. That's setting up the triggers. It sets up the shame. Even though the real problem is timing, not you. Then there comes this mindset that comes with all resolutions. It's all or nothing. People try to overhaul their habits, drop old patterns, and start fresh overnight. That's unsustainable. Small failures feel like total failures. And that's when the psyche starts rewiring for self-doubt and guilt. And over time, repeating the cycle, we do it every year. It leads to learned helplessness. After a while, our subconscious begins to believe that change isn't possible. The nervous system starts shutting down instead of experimenting. And then there's chronic stress. Shame plus pressure, that equals cortisol spikes. When the body is stressed, it cannot integrate habits or lessons effectively. When we can't do what we set up to do and we're comparing ourselves, our identity starts to get fractured. We start believing, I'm not who I want to be yet. Maybe I'm not capable of doing this shit. And the mind doubts itself. The body starts to resist, and there your spirit is left in limbo waiting. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you felt like this after a resolution. Yeah, put one in the chat if you felt like that. when you made resolutions and you didn't get what you thought you were going, or you didn't get to what you were going to be. Put a one in the while you think about that. Let me give you this question. Think about what I said, but on a societal level, when millions of people attempt the same resolution at the same time, and most fail, and the failure becomes normalized. The narrative for the collective then comes and says, change is hard. Self-improvement doesn't stick. Social media amplifies that shit. Everyone sees this curated success while everybody else is failing. Then we start, it's a breeding ground for jealousy, for envy, for imposter syndrome, and that energy spreads fast. People start blaming themselves, thinking the fault is personal rather than seasonal or structural. And when I say structural, I'm saying because, it is definitely a, uh, a Western civilization type of thing. Because culturally, winter is meant for reflection. Winter is meant for integration. Winter is meant for preparation. And if a society pushes action too early, the collective nervous system never resets. Patterns begin to repeat, lessons go unprocessed, and forward growth is slow. The truth is simple. Failing resolutions is not your fault. It's timing, not weakness. January isn't for starting. January is for orientation. January is for assessment. January is for integration. Uh, here's something for y'all. Where are they? Where are they? Here it is. Um, where's my two of pentacles? Mm, y'all, I thought I had my two of pentacles. Oh, nope. Two of pentacles. Two of pentacles. That is the man juggling those two pentacles, and that is about balance. That is about the priorities and what have you. And again, when we look at the two of pentacles, you're only going to see him. You only see him juggling two because maybe he knows that that's all he needs at this moment. Give me a second, y'all. It should be coming up. There we go. Two of pentacles right there. Balancing the priorities, integrating what's left from the year before. All right. But now here we go. With that, we got the Three of Cups right here. This is asking for us to seek support, to reflect with community if needed. And in January right here, it's also about this energy right here, the Hermit. Taking quiet time for observations before we leap into action. Here in America, we steamroll. We steamroll through these holidays. Let me ask you something, y'all. Have you given yourselves permission to let go of some pressure? I'm gonna tell you right now, me for one, I'm glad that these holidays are over. When people quote unquote fail their resolutions, it's not because they lack discipline. It's because they're tired. They're tired. They're trying to force this spring energy in the dead of winter. And that reframes, when you think of it that way, that is going to reframe the quote unquote shame into a sense of understanding. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. You just started your resolution too early. January isn't about movement. It's about orientation. It's about naming what's going to stay. It's about releasing what is complete. It's about clarifying your intent. It's about observing patterns. It's about oh, it's about setting themes, not tasks. Someone asks you, "Oh, what's your resolution for this year?" You just tell them January isn't. It's not about movement. It's about orientation. January isn't about movement. It's about orientation. And again, the truth of the matter is that New Year's resolutions, that is a Western concept. It didn't start with Instagram or motivational speakers. It started with the Babylonians. You want to know? It started with Babylonians, right here, where they at. There you go. They're your Babylonians. They were promising gods that they would pay the debts and return borrowed items at the end of the year. And then the Romans had January, and January had Janus, right here, the two-faced god, the two-faced god of beginnings. And they made promises to him. But those were ritual promises, not drop everything and reinvent yourself like we do today. The modern version, the January 1st, New Year, New Me, that shit really took off in Europe and North America. It's tied to the calendar. It's a moral reflection. It's self-discipline. It's productivity. And all of that is socially reinforced. The last 100 years of marketing, of media, of fitness programs, diet plans, apps, all piled on. January 1st became a socially mandated day to change your life. So if your resolutions fail, it's not personal. It's not weakness. It's a cultural pressure, not a cosmic one. You guys got to look at the rest of the world. Lunar New Year comes late January or February, and that is about renewal. It pushed arbitrarily. You got the spring equinox that aligns with nature, not a date on a piece of paper. Here, I got one for you. Rosh Hashanah. It's renewal that happens with spiritual timing, not mark. Those systems, they don't tell millions to overhaul everything at once. They respect cycles. They respect the nervous system. And that's why trying for change on January 1st, it's a doomed proposition. It's a Western construct colliding with natural timing. On an astrological level, astrological New Year does not begin on January the 1st. It begins somewhere where the sun, right here, the sun enters Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and that happens around March 20th or 21st in the spring equinox. Now, this is the real energetic reset. Light and dark returns to balance. Life starts pushing through the soil. At this time, this is innovative. It's courage and forward motion, and it comes all of that shit comes back online. Nature does not start over in January. It waits until it's ready. So if you've been waiting, that's not procrastination, that's instinct. January is the download. March is the ignition. I got one for you guys. Timing isn't about calendar. Timing is spiritual intelligence. Did you hear what I said? Timing isn't about calendars. Timing is spiritual intelligence. January is not for starting, it's for preparing. It's for observing what you've already carried. It's for clarifying your patterns. It's for releasing what's complete. It's not for naming what will carry forward. January is the orientation before the initiation. January is the inhale before we take that leap. It's January is that pause that lets the clarity come through, the clarity emerge. Now I got something for you. 2026. 2026. Some people reduce it to one. I don't. Yes, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. And if you reduce it, you take the 0, you got 1. That's true. But that reduction skips a step. 10 is not beginning energy. 10 is completion with awareness. So 2026, here's what it looks like in tarot. Let me show you what it looks like in tarot. Using the 10s. We got the 10 of wands. Hold on, where am I at? Oh, there we go. We got the 10 of wands. That's weight. That's undeniable. That card right there is saying you're doing too much. Next on that, on the 10s, is the 10 of swords. The ending is final. There's nothing left to debate. Let that shit go. We move to the 10 of cups. And we're talking about the emotional fulfillment is clear. We know what we want. We're going to see what aligns and what doesn't align this year. And then last but not least, right there, we got the 10 of pentacles. And this card right here says that legacy matters. What you build now has got to last. What you build right now has got to last. And then again, the Wheel of Fortune. The cycle only turns when a lesson has been completed. And I brought those cards out because that is the energy that we're in. 10 doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like accountability. It feels like the truth. And the truth is going to feel heavy because the truth has weight to it. January carries that energy. It's the download of completion. March, Aries seasons is the ignition of new beginnings. That's when you want to do your resolutions. So I wanted to jump on here and let you guys know all of that. Um, I was thinking about doing readings. However, all of my moderators, they are out doing something, and that is fine. That is fine. We'll do readings some other time. I'm back. You know, some of the responsibilities that I have, those have been taken care of, so I'm good. I'm good, and I can focus on what I'm doing right now. But I just wanted to get up on here and let you guys know that your resolutions. No, you're not too late. You're prepared. You're paying attention. And again, I want to say it again. Timing isn't about the calendar. Timing is spiritual intelligence. So, yeah, 2026, your story, your initiation, when March hits, the ignition is going to flip. This year isn't about rushing. It's about stepping into energy that you've prepared for. You're ready, you're aligned, and you're moving in the right timing. Okay? January isn't about movement. It's about orientation. And remember, timing is spiritual intelligence. January is the teacher, March is the doer. 2026 is the story. And you're a part of it. So with all that, y'all, this is the first live of 2026. Thank you all for coming. Please do all the things, like the video, subscribe to the channel, pass the video forward. Um, yeah, that's it. Let me see. I'm gonna put the link on there. Anyone else want to come up? Come on through. If not, we are done so. We are done so. And yeah, I'm seeing one coming through, and that's okay. Listen, y'all, thank you so much for spending a portion of your New Year's Day with me. Happy 2026. Y'all stay in alignment. All right. All right, baby. Y'all stay blessed. Bye.